as the People's Democratic Party prepares to hold its national convention 2 months from now. Its members will first have to agree on the zoning of national offices and select a committee to conduct the convention. However, the crucial decision on the zoning formula for national offices is expected to be hard-fought. It will also ultimately determine the presidential zoning by the PDP and signpost its readiness to wrest power from the All Progressives Congress in 2023. Now, joining us to discuss the many hurdles that the PDP still has to surmount in the next few weeks is Dr. Doyin Okupe, a physician turned politician and former media aide to President Goodluck Jonathan. Good morning, Dr. Okupe, and welcome to the morning show. Good morning. To have you here.
Good morning.
Nice to be here.
Well, quickly, let's have an idea of your position on the leadership crisis in the People's Democratic Party and also the crisis in the All Progressives Congress. We've witnessed that in the last 2 weeks, and it looks like there is no end to it, prompting certain observers to say that the two major political parties in Nigeria are failing Nigerians, and that perhaps it's about time Nigerians began to look at, some alternative, some third force that can move the country forward.
Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm glad to be here. Good morning, Nigerians. What we're seeing really, is systemic failure, based on fundamental errors. The parties did not evolve properly. And after evolution, somewhere along the line, the party were politically decapitated and new leadership transplanted. What we're seeing really is not the way a political party should be. In terms of structure, the leadership of the party since 1999 had been changed from strong political leadership-based authority to officialdom. If you're a governor, it doesn't matter whether... I know some governors who came back from abroad, 6 months to the election, they became governors, and then automatically became the head of the party in their states. That's an abnormality. Now, because we have now changed the type of leadership that runs the parties, it is easy for just 1 or 2 people to decide this is the chairman of the party, and then it's fostered on everybody, and everybody accepts it. So, what you're seeing really is because the parties are not very well grounded. They are not being run by properly elected people. If I emerged as national chairman of a party, and I remember when Tommy Kimi was going to be chairman of NRC, we went to every local government, every state. It was a popular election, all right? And everybody had a stake in his chairmanship. That is what it ought to be. But in this case, what do you have? Everybody goes to Abuja. A few people go to a room, and then they write the names of the officers. They come to the convention, and there's an endorsement. You don't even have a feel. You have never seen the chairman before. He has never spoken to you. You don't know anything about him. So, if they remove him or they impose him, it doesn't matter to you.
No, but in terms of the specific details, what's your take? In the PDP, the issue is about the chairman of the party. And you have 7 national deputies resigning. You have, the BOT having to step in. In the APC, it's about the chairman of the party, whether, a caretaker committee chairman should also be a governor in the light of the Constitution.
Superimposed on all of this is the race towards 2023. You must understand that very clearly. So, in the PDP, 7 deputies resigned, 4 working committee people resigned. All that are just symptoms of a major illness behind. So the thing is that some people want to remove this executive because by staying there, it's not going to be in their best interest in the race towards 2023. There are other people also who are insisting that these people should stay because for them, they'll have a political advantage. So it is a balancing of interests. As far as the APC is concerned, it's also the same thing. People are struggling for the soul of the party. Because in our system, whoever controls the party, not whoever controls the conscience and support of the people, controls the power. So once you can get your own people, to hold the party, to hold the authority of the party, it doesn't really matter. You can manipulate everybody and, choose your president, choose your governor. This is the problem.
So are you agreeing to the fact that critics who say the PDP and the APC are one and the same, and that they have failed because the focus has been on this self-inflicted crisis within the party of personalities and clash of egos? Is that what you're saying? And secondly, do you also agree that this resolution or rapprochement reached in the PDP to bring forward the convention, leaving Prince Uche Secondus to remain for the time being to December when the new NWC or ESCO takes over? Are you agreeing that this rapprochement does not fix the core challenges for the PDP, such as being a weak opposition, the race for 2023 to regain power, and the mass defections it has been witnessing? Do you agree to those things?
Let me take the first question first, and let us summarily dismiss that. The truth of the matter is that I'm not going to sit down here and lie to Nigerian people. The truth of the matter is that there's hardly any difference. No matter what anybody tells you, there's hardly any difference between the two political parties. And it's quite obvious. I mean, if today I am PDP, and tomorrow, I am APC, and it's not just one person, two persons. I mean, 50% of people who control power in APC today were, if not even 70, were all PDP guys. Take an example from my state. The present governor was PDP. The previous governor was PDP. Mosu Bringadane was PDP. They are all APC today. So what kind of coloration is that? The truth, that is not a criticism. It is an establishment of fact. And the fact is that, truly speaking, there is not much difference politically and otherwise, between the two parties. Having said that, what happened in the PDP, the rapprochement that you said, was a good move. All right? It was a good, matured move to douse tension and to control the burning fire. Mm-hmm. The fire is not put out, but the smokes have gone down. I would prefer a situation where the real issues that concern the country, all right, is what we are debating, what we are struggling about, what we are disagreeing about. As an opposition party, like you said, truly, by now, we should be ready with a manifesto, which it doesn't matter who the presidential candidate is. This is the testament. This is the document. This is our agreement, our promise to the electorate. So that is what the candidate is going to follow. What do we get in the country today? You just say, I am so person, Doyin Okupe, I want to be president, vote for me, please. What are you going to do? We don't know. What's the party going to do? We don't know. And nobody really seems to care. We go around the country, we raise flags, we shout, we dance. No substance. It's not just PDP. This is the performance of the political parties is abysmally poor. And you are taking people for granted. In a country where people go to bed empty, with empty stomachs, the health situation is so bad, economy is terrible, prices, you go to the market today, and in fact, same day, you go to the market twice for the same item, the prices change. This should form real challenges for our political parties, but they don't. None of the two major parties, APC or PDP, can you hold on to on any national issue. They don't have a position on structuring. They have no position on, many things that are of national importance. You cannot say this is PDP position or this is APC position, and yet they will produce president. It's a joke.
Well, let's bring in our colleague, Rufai.
All right. Thank you so much, Adesoa. Real quickly, the scenario you have painted is shocking. And it shows that there is no hope for Nigerians even in 2023 elections. The question is, how can we bring about a third force or a new group of people that can change things? Since you've said the APC and the PDP are the same, who will save Nigeria? No, scratch, I don't want to use that word because that word has been used, overused and overflogged. Who will liberate Nigeria? Pretty much more like it. And secondly, while you were in the PDP, did you raise some of these concerns? Because you served at the top echelon of government. And now you are saying that most political parties over the years, they've not had an ideology, they've not had a slant, they don't know where the country is going. Did you raise all of this while you were in government as a Nigerian to be able to change things for Nigeria?
Thank you, Rufai. I will start from your last position. I never held any major political office in PDP. I never did. I had been in government. I'd been, in the presidency. Presidency is different from the politics. You understand? So, my concern in all the period that I served, in the government had been to project the images of the presidents that I served and, to advise them, as to how, and to put in the little bits I could. But majorly, I was working on the political stature, the political image of the president that I work for. I did not really influence or had any role to play with the parties as such. But now, it's not that there's no hope for Nigeria. There's hope for Nigeria, but it is very, 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 very tight situation. Very tight situation indeed. Because if you really look at it, you're talking about the third force. It doesn't work in Nigeria. It is not going to work. It is not going to work in Nigeria. We will have to do with the parties that we have. There's a possibility, I must give it to you, that people from the left, people from the right may come somewhere to the center and create a new movement. All right? If that is what you're going to call a third force, well, I'll give it to you. But the truth is that, what Nigeria needs is not, because I've said the two parties are the same. What Nigeria needs, therefore, because we're not going to bring Ghanaians or Europeans to run the country. So there's no need to dream. There's no need to dream, that we can do something fresh and new. If we must do something fresh and new, then we have to go back to basics. We've got to go back to the structure of the parties, the funding of the parties. A situation where to be a governor, you will spend 6 billion naira, 7 billion naira. It's not acceptable. And if we still, in 2023, if we still have to if I cannot say I want to be governor of my state, where I was born, where my father was born, my mother was born, or based on pedigree and what I have done with my life, that it has to be how much I have in my purse. Rufai, you or anybody don't have a right to question it. The people who collected 6-7 billion from candidates, also smoked their chances. Why, all that money is, people will not vote for you unless you give them money. That's the truth. I had a man say that on this channel. I think it was Oguleye. And he's speaking the truth. No, they will not. I've been a leader of political party for a long time. There was a time we're doing a governorship election. A certain doctor, a dentist, he was the best. There were about 11 candidates or aspirants. He was the best of the best. And he meant well. He had an incredibly fantastic CV. When I got home and I asked my people, I said, all these people, who do we support? They said, doctor, this dentist man is the best. If we are going to speak the truth, this is the best person. But he doesn't have money. That when he's coming, he buys oranges only for himself and sucks it in their presence. And the man came last. So, a society that itself, does not, have any values. What the problem we're having in the country today, I must say here publicly, is because of the poor state, the poor the poor mindset of our elites. But then the elites themselves, who are the Nigerian elites, they come from our various communities. The various communities are basically corrupt. All right? And they're bad. It's like they say in Italy, you know, if the college of cardinals are bad, you know, the Pope cannot be good. That is the problem we have.
Well, Dr. Okupe, one of the things we have done this week is to begin to look into the future. Monday, Tuesday, I think up to Wednesday, we've been trying to look at possible candidates, presidential candidates for Nigeria.
I hope you have not ruled me out.
Well,
because I didn't see my picture this day, and I'm very angry.
We based our analysis on the 31 names on the front page of this day.
Okay. Ruben, I don't know how you can be here and allow them to just skip me out of things.
So, I mean, there have been different kinds of views.
Yeah.
Those 31 names on the front page of this day. And then later we had Chief Senator Ogunlewe here on the program, and we also had Chief Olabode George. And the big takeaway was the argument over whether Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is fit enough to be, president of Nigeria. So on their own, they added an additional name to the conversation. Okay. But, I mean, you've read the This Day stuff.
Yes, I have.
So you are familiar with all the 31 names.
Very, very much so. I also watched the programs that you talked about.
Okay, so
I watched both of them.
What's your take? What kind of president do you think Nigeria should have in 2023?
Our focus is wrong. What the This Day published is what should be published in the United States, is what should be published in the UK, in Germany. In this country today, where the level of distrust among citizens is so high, the visceral hatred that we have generated among ourselves, for ourselves, it's unbelievable. Nigeria is not looking for any expert or any technical technocrats. And that is, look, the next government must be an interim government to the new Nigeria of our dream. The next government must be a government headed by somebody who can heal the nation. Because without healing the nation, all your economic theories will come flat. The next government must be a government that can heal the nation, reunite the people, all right, and pay very serious attention to the poor amongst us and to the lower middle class, who, in spite of the fact that they are laboring every day, husband and wife, are still living terrible, terrible lives. That is the government we're looking for. And so you are looking for a politician, a person that is well grounded in politics, who has the fear of God in his mind and is humane enough to be concerned, with this welfare of the majority of Nigerians. Let me tell you something. Just give you an example. I have been in government, and I've studied how government works. The budget we do every year for the last 30, 40 years is extremely defective. It is non-inclusive. My mother died at the age of 90, and I asked her a question a couple of years ago. Have you ever benefited directly from federal government or state government? She said, how? He said, no, never. Everything I have been through my own sweat. And when I'm in trouble, nobody comes to my aid. I asked the same question for my driver. I asked for my friends. And I want to ask, maybe I can't ask you because we were in government, so we collected money.
No, I was not just in government. I used Nigerian scholarship as an undergraduate.
I know. What I'm saying is that we collected salaries, okay. So we benefited directly. But those who are not in government, 90% of Nigerians do not derive any benefit from their government, from the wealth of their nation, and from the revenues collected. My daughter, some 20 years ago, or 25 years ago, when I went to the US, the day I arrived, she came upstairs and said, Daddy, see. So I said, what's that? He said, she has a check of $2,000 from the Federal Reserve Bank. I think at that time, there was some problem in the US, and they wanted to stimulate the economy. No, can any Nigerian say he has collected a check, from the government, either state, local, or federal? So why not? All the projects we are doing, all these big falutin projects, only benefit presidency, legislator, civil servants, the Doyin Okupes of this world, and foreigners.
But the federal government had this National Social Register targeting vulnerable households at the height of COVID.
Yes,
and money was given out.
Which is commendable. We've got to go a step further than that. We've got to actively take a decision to look after the poor amongst us. It is the failure of to do this that has resulted in banditry, whether you like it or not. It is exclusion, from the main national, largesse that has led to all this banditry, kidnapping that we're seeing. And unless we critically address them, I even think it is even more, only in Nigeria and in Africa in general, we are more interested in surface issues. Right now, all the politicians are looking for is 2023. Let's do election. Let me become governor. Let me become president.
But if I could bring you back, I talked about the 31 names on the front page of this day, and also the additional name that was added. If you were to do a short list, what would your short list be?
Believe me sincerely. Okay, let's start from where Bola, from Bola Tinubu that you said Ogunleye and co. Bola Tinubu, to me, will be a good president. I believe so, and because of I've had personal relationship with him. One day I sat with Bola Tinubu so many years ago, and it was a Saturday, and there was nobody there for about 4 hours, and we spoke. From that day, I had respected the man. He has his own problems, he has his own faults, but I believe that if he has a chance, he can do well. I believe so. Whether you have a chance or not, I do not know. You understand? Now, my take really is that, number one, in the next dispensation, this is how I'm going to cut off so many people. In the next dispensation, the next president of Nigeria must be a Southerner. It has to be. Because, all the stories about, some people have not had enough time, it will not fly. The truth of the matter is that a Northerner will have occupied the position for 8 years by 2023. In terms of morality, good relationship, and national unity, it does not make sense that another Northerner should now occupy it for the next 8 years. It's not going to work. So whoever is on that list and is a Northerner is out.
Okay, so when you say Southerners, we have the South-South, we have the South-West, and we have the South-East. But we'll come back to talk some more about the factors that will determine who should emerge President 2023 when we come back from this break. Okay. Stay with us, Dr. Okupe. We'll be right back. You're watching The Morning Show here on the Rise News channel. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching The Morning Show here on the Rise News, and we still have with us in our Lagos studio Dr. Doyin Okupe, a physician turned politician and former media aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're just taking a review of the 31 names our sister publication had published days ago following the exclusive interview with former head of state, IBB. He sort of summarized, he's visualized who the next Nigerian president should be in his 60s, should have a friend everywhere in the country, of course, should be versed in the economy. You have ruled out the Northerners. You said they should not emerge. It's not their time yet to emerge again in 2023. So I was asking some of the other factors that would determine who will emerge, because in recent times we've seen religion, ethnicity, and of course the zoning. In that zoning, you've ruled out the North. So let's look at some of the Southerners on that list. I could read some for you. Yeah. Professor Yemi Oshipejo is there. Governor of Ekiti State, Governor Fayemi is on that list. We have Minister of Works, Raji Fashola, on that list. We also have from the South, current Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde. We have former Governor of Ogun State, your state, Governor Ibikunle Amosun. Those are the ones that come to mind. Of course, we have the Minister for Transportation, Rotimi Amici, who's also from the South.
Well, thank you very much. I think IBB got it right. Believe me sincerely. I think he got it right. that the person should be somebody who can pick up his phone and call at least one person in every local government of the Federation. That means it's somebody who has already moved around, who has socially interacted with a cross-section of Nigerians. He understands the terrain. Do you understand?
There's also Peter Obi. Sorry, I left that out.
Yeah. And, he said in his 60s, okay, fine. I also agree with that. But, in his 60s, does not exclude... I mean, for instance, if I join the race, I'm in my 60s.
Would you join the race?
It's not an impossible thing. It's not. And I think that by what IBB has actually said, I've not spoken to him, but I have a feeling that he had me in mind. Believe me sincerely, there's no place in the country, the whole country.
He said he had 3 persons.
I must be one of them. I'm serious. You know why? Because there's no part of this country, there's no local government in this country I have not visited 5 times in my lifetime. There's none. All right? And I'm the most really well-prepared person to be president. You know why?
Why?
Okay, good. I have twice served in the presidency. It's not just serving as an aide, as a friend and associate of each of the presidents, a confidant of the president. I have seen them handle the country. I've seen them go wrong. But this is not really about me, so I will drop it. I will drop it. So if
otherwise, we'll give you an invoice for advertisement.
No, so I will drop it.
Political campaign.
I'm a decent
Ahead
person.
of election.
I'm a decent person. I will drop it. But if you remove me from the table, because if if you're going to do that table properly, Doyin Okupe should be number 1. Then the next most qualified person will be Osinbajo. Also using the same yardstick that I use for myself. Osinbajo in the last couple of years has been number 2 man. All right? Albeit he may not have been acting properly. Do you understand? But I don't know. That is internal politics of the APC or this presidency. But he's a vice president of the current president. And he's also a very intelligent human being. Very, very intelligent human being. Knowledgeable also. He falls short, dangerously short on politics. That is the problem. He falls dangerously short on politics, and you need somebody with an A plus if possible, in politics for this next thing that we need. But he's a good man. Another person that I will really consider is Peter Obi. Peter Obi is super excellent. He fits the bill. But the problem is the politics of Nigeria. And I do not want to expand on that. But Peter Obi, to me, will be a very, very qualified person to be president of Nigeria.
Okay, sir.
That is, if I am not running. If I'm running, I come above the 2 names that I've mentioned to you.
Okay, Rufai has something to say.
Okay, so it is that politics of Nigeria that you don't want to talk about that I want to talk about. And I want to expatiate on
this is a troublemaker.
because we keep saying the politics of Nigeria. Is it that the Southeast is not good enough? Because we had somebody from the Elders Forum in the North come here to say that, the Southeast can't just get power like that. They have to come and negotiate with the North. And we've been talking about this Southeast presidency for a while. So tell me about that politics of Nigeria you don't want to talk about. About the East. Rufai,
what you have just done is, you have virtually, virtual communication. Virtually, you have pointed the gun at my head, but the gun is not showing. But I'm a brave man. I will try and answer your question. If we were to really speak the truth, the next president should come from the Southeast. That's the truth of the matter. But politics is not about... Politics is a game of numbers. You understand? You've got to be able... It's either the majority makes a concession to you, in which... That's how Obasanjo became president. It's not that Yorubas won anything. They didn't. But the North conceded and concessioned the presidency to the Southwest. All right? We've got to have a situation where the whole country, all right, also will have to concession, because every state in the South is a minority. The Southwest is a minority on its own. The South-South is a minority on its own. The Southeast is a minority on its own. But you see, if you look at the Northwest and the Northeast, there is some understanding. We cannot pretend that we do not understand. We don't know that. That's a fact. There is some understanding amongst them that they tend to go along the same way. That is 13 states already. That's 13 states. And the Northwest is the largest voting region in the country. So you cannot discountenance them. So we've got to come to a national conclusion and say, look, two parties, both of you pick your candidates from the Southeast. Then we got it done. If you can't get that done, it's difficult for anybody, either it's a Southwest person or South-South person, to be president without a concession. We have not reached the stage where like I said, your pedigree, your qualification, your past experiences, will speak for you around the whole country. Somebody in Sokoto really, apart from television, does not know who Doyin Okupe is. So he's going to vote for whoever his bosses, his leaders, his chiefs tell him to vote for, because they are the people who go to Abuja, they are the people who come to Lagos, they are the people who know Southerners. We have not reached a situation where, you see, like Donald Trump and all these people, they go around the country and they are known, and they campaign, they speak, but it doesn't work like that with us yet. So that is the problem I have. The politics is not the peculiar politics of Nigeria. It is that Nigeria is divided religiously. They will not tell you this, but it is true. Religion matters in Nigerian politics. Ethnicity matters in Nigerian politics. There are a few people who today are contesting for presidency just because they come from a particular ethnic location in the country. Otherwise, they have no business running for presidency. So we are still at that low level of political differentiation. We haven't gone beyond that, and you must accept it.
Well, Dr. Okupe, two clarifications.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure that a northerner on his own can win the presidential election.
He can.
No.
I will explain to you.
Okay.
He can.
President Buhari tried it like how many times? He was able to become president when he had the support of the Southwest.
Let me give you a scenario. Ruben.
No, let me finish.
In politics, I am a master. In Nigerian politics, I am a master. By age and by participation, I've risen to that level. I'm a professor.
Northwest plus Northeast
can
win presidential election.
Let me explain to you how a northerner can be president without anybody from
No, I don't think so. Because you will also need...
Can I explain? Let me explain. Just give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
If, let's say, Atiku comes out, he wants to run for president, and the entire of the North, all right, decides to vote for him. Nobody in the South votes for him. So what do you have? You have somebody coming first and have somebody coming second. They will not meet the constitutional spread. So what does the Constitution say? The Nigerian Constitution says that under such a condition, there's a rerun, and anybody that has a numerical strength becomes the president. So in a rerun, an Atiku will win because more voters will come and more votes will come from the North than from the rest of the country.
Yeah, but this North that you are talking about, you are not including the Middle Belt, I guess. Because the Middle Belt is insisting on a Southern president, not a Northern president.
Let me explain to you again. I said if the Northwest and the Northeast, by some, it's not so difficult for them to get it done. No. If they agree together, all right? The Northwest is responsible for about 33% or 35% of total votes cast. So when you add Northeast, you move it to about 40, 45. All right? Remove the Middle Belt. Let the Middle Belt vote. All right? So, but none of the two candidates, the first and the second, will meet the criteria. All right? If they block you from the Northwest and they block you from the Northeast, the whole Middle Belt and the South will, you can get a numerical, you can even come first and the Northern candidates come second. Do you understand?
Well, by the spirit of the Constitution is that whoever will be president of Nigeria would be acceptable across all the six
spirit.
Geopolitical
the soul
zones.
Is different.
No, the Constitution only has letter and spirit.
Okay.
We're running out of time. Earlier on, you said Senator Ibikunle Amosun was once in the PDP. I don't think he was ever in the PDP.
Excuse me? Senator Ibikunle Amosun?
No, he was in AMPP, ACN, and APC.
You are talking to me, Doyin Okupe.
Okay.
Senator Ibikunle Amosun, I'm saying it on public television, was my campaign coordinator for the Ogun East. I mean, not Ogun East, for Ogun Central when I was running for governor in 2000. He was my campaign.
As a member of PDP.
Yes, how can he be my campaign coordinator if he was not a member of PDP? He was a member of PDP.
Oh, really?
That's the truth.
I see.
He was a member. He was the person who coordinated my campaign efforts in Egba. He was.
Okay. Well, we seem to have run out of time. This has been a very exciting conversation. We would have loved to continue with you for another 1 hour. I'm sure you're up to the task. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us.
I'm glad.
Dr. Doyin Okupe.